Have you ever wanted to visit Mexico and live a day in their lifestyle? They are a poor country and rely strongly on tourism for their economy. Today I'll be talking about the Mexican culture. I chose this because my neighbors are Mexican and I didn't know much about their culture. I will be talking about facts of Mexico, key values of their culture, achievements that Mexicans made, do's and taboos while visiting Mexico, and their verbal and nonverbal communications. Mexicans value their traditions, beliefs, and values. Everything they do is family-oriented. Now let's begin with some interesting facts about Mexico. Mexico is a country located between the U.S. and Central America and borders the U.S. Mexico is the hardest working country in the world, with the average citizen working 43 hours a week. It is a very poor country, so tourism is strongly relied on for their economy. Next, we're going to learn some key values of this culture. They're extremely family-oriented, and their extended families tend to all live in the same household, and they always take care of each other and their elders. The men work to support their families, while the women stay home to care for the kids and all of the household duties. Mexicans have large, close-knit families, and any important decisions are made by the men. If they are living in the U.S. and have family back in Mexico, they'll send them money every month. They believe that unity is strength, so family is their most important social institution. They treat everyone with love and respect, no matter what happens to a family member. They always stick together, especially if one is put into jail. They see politicians as corrupt, so families work together to fight against them. Godparents are included in every special occasion of their godchild's life. 90% of Mexicans attend church and are Roman Catholics. They're big into ceremonies such as funerals, weddings, and christenings. These all bring the families together and connect them. The Day of the Dead festival is huge in Mexico. It's a day to celebrate the life and death of family ancestors. Their weddings are huge, with many ceremonies. Every girl in Mexico celebrates their 15th birthday with a quinceañera. It is an emotional ceremony transitioning a girl into womanhood. The father dances with their daughter. He exchanges her childish shoes for heels. And that's the symbol. Some of Mexico's achievements were interesting to me. Here's what they are. The colored television was invented by a Mexican, Guillermo Gonzalez, in 1946. He screened colored images from his Mexico City lab. Popcorn was also made by the Mexicans, the Zapotec people. It was made in hot clay pots and not in a microwave. A Mexican named Luis Miramontes came up with the active ingredient in oral contraceptives. In the early 2000s, researchers from the Applied Physics and Technology Center in Querétaro, Mexico, came up with a biodegradable paint called Delatim 3000. It leaves spray paint impossible to stick to a wall. The next thing we'll talk about is Mexico's do's and taboos. Some of their taboos are: don't be on time for a home visit. It is considered rude in their country. Don't drink the tap water. It isn't necessarily sanitary. Don't bring drugs into Mexico. It could put you in a Mexican jail, which isn't safe. Don't wear t-shirts and flip-flops for business purposes. Instead, dress formal. Don't take large sums of money with you or wear extravagant jewelry, because the crime rate is very high there. Some of the do's are: speak as much Spanish as you can and say salud, which means bless you. When someone sneezes, it's polite. Remove your hats and sunglasses when entering a church. Always rest your arms at the edge of the table while eating and leave a little bit of food on your plate. This is also polite in their culture. It is normal for people to arrive late to anything. That's just what they do. Along with the do's and taboos are the verbal and nonverbal communications. Their verbal communications include being open about their families and private life. They ask direct questions about people's private lives and are very blunt. Their communication is also high context. Their nonverbal communications include the men greeting one another with a kiss on each cheek. Eye contact is essential, but it is also gender affected. When a man and a woman make eye contact, it can be considered sexual. While conversating, they enjoy being close to each other. This is comfortable in their culture. In closing, I hope by now you have a good understanding of the Mexican culture. Family is everything in this culture, and together they follow their traditions, values, and beliefs. My neighbors are Mexican and have a large family. I've always wondered why this was, but now I know they live together to take care of one another. So after learning about the Mexican culture, would you plan a trip? Remember, us tourists help them greatly.